Hello, my name is Alexis, and today my group and I will be discussing the case study as well as our recommendations for Zipcar's CEO, Robin Chase, ultimately answering the question, what should the CEO do next? First, Aaron will give us a brief overview on the who, what, and when of the situation. Next, I will present the full analysis. Then Cole will dive into our short-term and long-term recommendations, and Brandon will follow up with the risks.
Robin Chase, co-founder of Zipcar, began the car-sharing company to provide city residents with a reliable, convenient, and dependable way to access cars. Since the company's launch in 2000, Zipcar has received countless raving reviews from the press, including CNN, The Wall Street Journal, and USA Today. Although Chase was able to find her niche within the car-sharing industry, the business model she had spent months creating was not working. Nearly 4 months after the initial launch, the revenue amount Chase had estimated was only half of what she predicted. Chase needs to reinvent her business model while remaining true to her original purpose of providing accessible cars to those in metropolitan areas. Who? Robin Chase co-founded Zipcar with her friend Ansha Danielson in the year 2000. What? Zipcar is an accessible, convenient, and dependable car-sharing service for those living in metropolitan areas. Why? Chase and Danielson wanted to provide customers with an alternative to public transportation. Chase also considered the environmental factors of the business. She came across a European study that estimated every shared car would result in 7.5 fewer individually owned cars on the road.
Because car sharing in the American market was a new concept, Zipcar's CEO wanted to embrace that originality and sought hard to drive comparisons away from car rental companies. Her progressive but untested business model brought expected criticism and doubts from many who had seen profitability elude other car-sharing organizations. The challenge was heightened, but this meant Chase had to be more precise and strategic with every decision she made. Her precision included her selection of her chain of command, a team who held automotive experience and engineering expertise. Right from the bat, Chase faces expected challenges and criticisms from those who have seen others attempt a car-sharing service and fail. Zipcar had 2 goals it sought to meet: providing urban dwellers with convenient access to cars without the financial burdens of owning one, and to contribute to rising organizational sustainability efforts. A woman of due diligence, Zipcar's founder and CEO Robin Chase had been motivated by the success and environmental statistics that the execution of car sharing in Europe produced. It was estimated that European studies say every shared car resulted in 7.5 fewer individually owned cars on the road, and that the market was ripening for an expansion. A few Canadian companies had recently been successful in introducing car sharing to their untouched domestic market, and a representative of one gave Chase valuable information. He offered perspective from his business development experience and helped Chase to understand what not to do. Firstly, the rise of technology means stepping away from paper. Businesses altogether, regardless of the industry, should be looking for ways to take advantage of the changes in communication and consumer product relations so as to provide the newest, most seamless customer satisfaction experience. Leverage technology. Secondly, cars should not be rated at the same price. Customers are most satisfied with prices when they understand where the prices are coming from. When factors such as available parking, city density, availability, and car type are considered in the price, both the business and the consumer or members have a much more honest, transparent, and amicable relationship. It is important for any business to have a positive relationship with its consumers. Chase was aware of this, so from the beginning she took a personal approach to engaging with her consumer base. At the genesis of Chase's car-sharing creation, the soon-to-be CEO wanted every detail to appeal to her market. Cambridge, Massachusetts, a bustling city perfectly picked for her concept's introduction, held a lot of potential. She factored in student discounts to appeal to the dense student population. She walked the streets surveying her potential market. She made interesting discoveries, an example being that 40% of the people did not like the word share in the name of the concept's company. Making sure she understood her consumer base was an imperative part of Chase's determination to see the execution of car sharing in America be a success. There was an issue regarding the wireless technology, as well as an issue regarding financial budgeting. However, both were manageable with predictable results. Chase knew that introducing a car-sharing company to the American market would be risky, as there was one important factor that she was incapable of predicting: utilization. When it came to the utilization of cars, members were using them at almost half the rate that was expected, which meant that the revenue was half of what Chase expected. To break even, Chase calculates that a 20% increase in the daily rate would help the company stay afloat. The idea sounds like it would easily fix the drop in revenue. However, Chase fears that Zipcar's members will react negatively when asked to pay more, especially since the company has been newly introduced with rates already established. The CEO's business model isn't working, and she needs to decide what she can do to meet the expectations of her consumers while remaining financially sound.
Good afternoon. My name is Cole Kramer, and today I'm going to talk to you guys about recommendations. By providing a platform for participation of its members through a collaborative process, the Zipcar clients are members rather than consumers. Because of the diversity created through Zipcar's platform, there's a greater degree of trust through membership, which will allow Zipcar to weather the storm of a 20% increase. Now, we're going to move on to short-term recommendations. Using the simple and convenient platform for the purposes of connecting the cost-efficient process of renting a car reinforces the collaboration between its members and Zipcar. Through its simplicity of the process, which enables its members to share automobiles for their own convenience, will enable its members to accept the price increase. Now we are going to talk about the long-term recommendations. We want Zipcar to continue to promote its environmental philosophy and its ongoing communications with its members. Every single Zipcar traveling on the road today removes about 15 cars from a roadway, which reduces pollution and congestion. Additionally, Zipcar should create and distribute a direct and honest communication for the purposes of explaining the 20% increase. Using its platform to directly explain the need for the increase will endear its members to the company. This will allow Zipcar to quickly scale and overcome this issue.
After analyzing Zipcar's business model and numbers, Robin Chase made an inconvenient discovery. She learned that the car utilization rate was only 22%, which was much lower than the projected utilization rate of 40%. With the utilization rate being only 22%, it meant that the cars were only being used for 5.5 hours a day, as opposed to the projected 9.6 hours a day in Robin Chase's original business model. Zipcar's utilization rate decline is also reflected in its revenue, which was only half of the original projection. The overprojection in revenue posed a significant risk to Zipcar as it was about to take on its first round of funding worth $1.3 million. This investment was coming from a new angel investment group comprised of several MIT alumni. Robin Chase is poised with significant risk because the business model she presented to the angel investment group was not working. Now she must find a way to reconstruct the business model so its revenue is closer to the projections that she provided to her investors. Robin Chase's professional reputation was also at risk. All of her friends, family, and colleagues knew about her startup, and if she were to fail, she would be perceived as a failure in the eyes of her peers. Additionally, with the current business model, Zipcar could not even break even, much less produce a profit. The analysis conducted on the business model and numbers showed that 50% of Zipcar's revenue was coming from daily rentals. To break even, Zipcar would need to increase its daily rental rate by 20%. Increasing this daily rental rate posed two significant risks for the company. The first risk is that Zipcar's financial systems were built quickly and were not made to be altered. Therefore, adjusting the pricing would take a lot of engineering time on the back end, and the Zipcar team only had a few weeks before closing their first round of funding, and they have to make this adjustment quickly to ensure that they don't lose their investment. Additionally, for the second risk, at the time that Zipcar found out about this inconvenient discovery, they had 10 cars on the road with over 400 customers. Increasing their daily rental rate by 20% could cause significant backlash from their consumer base. Their customers have already paid their annual membership dues and put down a deposit based on the original pricing model. This major adjustment in pricing could cause Zipcar to lose customers and potentially result in a class action lawsuit for bait and switch tactics. Overall, Robin Chase has her hands full with all these risks, and it'll be interesting to see how the Zipcar team overcomes them.